सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। जाग्रत्स्वप्नसुषुप्तिषु स्फुटतरा या संविदुजृम्भते या ब्रह्मादिपिपीलिकान्ततनुषु प्रोता जगत्साक्षिणी सैवाहं न च दृश्यवस्तिति दृढप्रज्ञा यस्यास्ति चेत् चण्डालोऽस्तु सदो द्विजोऽस्तु गुरुरित्येषा मनीषा मम। ब्रह्मैवाहं जगच्च सकलं चिन्मात्रविस्तारितं सर्वं चैतदविद्यया शेषं मया कल्पितम्। इत्थं दृढमदृढामदिसुखदरे नित्ये परे निर्मले चाण्डालोऽस्तु सदो द्विजोऽस्तु गुरुरित्येषा मनीषा मम। शश्वन्नश्वरमेव विश्वमखिलं निश्चित्य वाचा गुरो नित्यं ब्रह्म निरन्तरं विमर्शदां निर्व्याजशान्तात्मना भूतं भावि च दुष्कृतं प्रदहते संविन्मये पावके प्रारब्धाय समर्पितं स्ववपुरित्येषा मनीषा मम। उभे हन्योन्यदृश्ये ते किं तदस्तीति नोच्यते. How can there be both the mind and the ego centers in us, the jiva? Both the mind are objects of perception. Anyonya ashrayam is there. Without one, the other is not there. The vishayas are not there without the mind, and mind is not there without the vishayas. Hence, they both are Anyonya ashrayam, and where there is Anyonya ashrayam, there is no reality. That cannot depend on. It is a dependent existence, and only independent existence is considered as real. And all three periods of time, it is there. Such a thing is called real. But these are not there when I am sleeping. The body is not available to me. The mind and intellect, nothing is available. And my ego is also in layam. What is there in deep sleep state clearly proves that nothing is born. You understand? Because this Anyonya ashrayam negates the existence of these things. They depend on something else for their own existence, even the jiva. And the objects, we may say, in a way of explanation, in a way of saying, that from the mind, all mind is divided into two, and they became one part became objects, the other part became the subject. These are all for only really not true. It's only Gauna Vakyas. That you must always understand. But when you go deeper into thinking and you see that since they depend on each other, they cannot be real. Now here he says, Lakshana Shunyam Ubhayam Tan Madenaiva Grikhyade. So therefore both are devoid of the marks by which they could be distinguished, meaning thereby they don't have independently, you can't say, with reference to the objects only, the mind is there. Hence, they don't have independent existence. Tan madenaiva grihya. By the knowledge of it only, we are not as it is, like that. Adharthya bhavam, we don't have. So that subject comes in contact with the objects in a definite relationship. If the knower, known and the knowing are not functioning in one and the same field of space and time, it is not possible for the individual mind to carry on its life of transactions. So the mind's very birth is questioned by Gaudapada. But you are going on telling mind only is doing all the spandanam, etc., etc. Mind also is a kalpita vastu. And what about objects? They are also. But who did the kalpana? If you ask, it is the ajnanam that surrounds the reality. Ajnanen avridam jnanam. And that ajnanam gives rise to the spandanam. And that spandanam makes us believe there is something called mind, there is something called objects, there is something called etc., etc. And their absence in deep sleep state, samadhi, etc. make us understand that they are really not there. If they can disappear during those particular periods, then in reality they are not there. But consciousness is always there. In deep sleep also, I am not dead. I am there. Is it not? In deep sleep, the mind is not there, or mind is sleeping, let us say. Whatever it is not available for vyavaharam. So that which is not there in all three periods of time is no. That is the first law of satyam. What is not there 3 periods of time, it is not real. What is seen only in the middle, it is not real. There cannot be. That which is not there in the beginning, that which is not there in the end, and cannot be there in the... and if you see there is something, that is only seeing. This seeing is called misapprehension, and not really there. So, in many ways, he has told you in this Alada Shanti why they are not born, where Ajadivadam is established in so many verses, and it will be, you can do the homework if you really want to learn Mandukya and write down the one by one from the verses why Gaudapada thinks nothing is born. The Ajadivadam is the crux of Mandukya. In a way, it is, we can also experience it if you really, it's all minds functioning. Is there Sukha Dukkha? If I ask you, for whom is the Sukha Dukkha? Not for the Atman. It doesn't have any Sukha Dukkhas. Then who has? So something is happening there that because of this spandanam of the Vijnanam, I identify myself with the Vijnanam and then say, I am happy, I am unhappy. Really speaking, my mind is Sukha Dukkha Bhokta. The Jiva is the Sukha Dukkha Bhokta. And I am thinking, I am enjoying, I am suffering, I am the doer, I am the knower. All these are only misunderstandings. How do I know? Because who knows the Sukha? I know. Who knows the dukkha? I only. You understand? I know this, I am not this. I know you, that I don't become you, I am not you, or you are not me. Is it not? In the same way, if you say, I know the sukham, then you are not. That's difficult to say. Not even coming from here. I am not, because drishyatvad and anityatvad, that sukham is not permanent. It keeps on moving. Anityatvad it is not. And drishyatvad, I can see. My mental modes, I can see. I am different from my mind. And you say, my mind is unhappy, is the correct? Or my mind is having some mood, whatever. The moods of the mind. Who knows? I only know. I am not the mood of the mind. I am the consciousness in which the moods of the mind are known. I am the consciousness in which everything from the Akasha, which is the last thing that we see in this universe, from Akasha down to a blade of grass, I see in my consciousness only they have existence. If I am unconscious, I don't see even a piece of grass. So thus, continuously think, and then you will understand the validity of the Ajadivada. So then here he says, when you say Atman is pure bliss, bliss means not the opposite of happiness or unhappiness, not the opposite of unhappiness. For unhappiness, the opposite is happiness. Happiness and unhappiness is not there in that. Bliss means beyond happiness, beyond unhappiness. This idea should sink into your mind. Beyond hatred and love. Do you say that Atman is full love? God is love. So who is hatred? You understand? You are experiencing both. So who is that who gives you unhappiness? That Satan. They say. Not true. I myself, and I am above Sukha and Dukkha, because they are both objects of my, understanding. In my consciousness only, the mind rises with joy or falls with unhappiness. And I am neither a Sukhi nor a Dukhi. Then what am I? I am pure bliss. Just a little tuning of your mind is what makes you permanently happy. You say, what to do? It is mind's dharma. Let it be happy or unhappy. It's not my problem. And sometimes you talk to the mind, are you unhappy? Doesn't matter. Tomorrow you will be all right. And tomorrow it will be all right. You tell the mind, I know you. You are a stupid fool. Which one? Mind. Thus, have a talk with the mind every day. It's a most interesting hobby. Instead of thinking this and that, go inward and talk to the mind. Why you say you are lonely? You are not lonely. Okay? You have always the mind to talk to. And say you are foolish. Why are you becoming unhappy? It's a thought. What is unhappiness? Yesterday we saw. Unhappiness is also a mental vritti, And happiness also is a mental vritti. If you do not think that way, you are neither happy nor unhappy. You transcend the mind. In the deep moments of thought and meditation, what happens is you transcend the very mind and go beyond it, which is called the realization again. Now he says, Yatha swapnamayo jivo. That only, no? Jayade mriyade bicha. Tadha jiva ami sarve. Bhavanti na bhavanti cha. Yatha maya mayo jivo. Jayate mriyate picha. Tatha jiva ami sarve. Bhavanti na bhavanti cha. Yatha nirmitako jivo. Jayate mriyate picha. Tadha jiva ami sarve. Bhavanti na bhavanti cha. Now here you must notice one thing. Jivas are all said in plural. Because we are talking from this level. That is why. For the Ajnani, there are bahu jivas. Ajnani means one who has not realized the truth. Otherwise, there is no jiva is born. Only if at all you see a jiva, that is nothing but the Atman. So how many jivas are there? Only one. You understand that same Paramatma is the... But when looking from this standpoint, from the relative standpoint, it appears as though there are many jivas and also they are born. Then you have denied the birth of the jiva. What difference does it make whether there are many jivas or one jiva? It doesn't make any. In fact, it is a useless quest. Okay? It's only your opinion. And many people have that opinion because it is comfortable for them. So they have that opinion. But you who are seeking truth must never waver from the truth. And once we have established that nothing is born, neither one jiva is born nor many jivas are born. Okay? And that's what he says here. Yadha swapnamayo jiva. And how this swapna jiva jayade mriyade cha. It appears to have been born and it appears to be dead. Both are only appearance. Again and again the teacher emphasizes the fact that nothing is born. So nothing can die. And now the science also says matter is never born, matter never perishes. Even matter does not perish. Why? Because matter is unborn. So how can jiva which is unborn be perishing? So even the appearances are all misleading. He says, Jayade mriyade bija tada jiva ami sarve bhavanti cha bhavanti na bhavanti. Bhavanti na bhavanti means jananam bhavanti jananam na bhavanti maranam. Janana maranas is not there for the jivas. And what is dying? Only this body dies at the time of death. Body dies and the mind and intellect along with the Chidabhasa or the reflection of the Atman leaves the body. Somewhere it will be written Jiva also. You understand? But from our standpoint, Jiva is not there. So what is there? Chidabhasa. Some scholars, some thinkers deny even Chidabhasa. So there are a lot of arguments there and all. We don't get involved in that. So what is the only reality? If you see the one and indivisible Atman in everything, then your vision is correct. In your joy and sorrow, what is becoming joyous and sorrowful is the mind, not the Atman. And no jiva is born. He establishes in these 3 verses, Yadha Swapnamayo Jivo Jayade Mriyade Bicha. In the Swapna, the jiva is born, let us say. One baby is born and the baby grows up and gets married and has children, and all that can happen in that 1 minute. Because Ujita Deshakalam is not there in the dream. So that baby is grown up, now he is become a Buddha, and he died. This many things you can see in the dream. But is that birth real? Is that death real? Swapnamaya jiva. Not real. And when you get up, you don't cry, I am dead. Do you? When you get up, where from are these dreams coming? Like that we think. And the next question to the teacher will be, where are dreams coming from? We want to say something bad, but then we don't say. Out of compassion to the student, we say something soft, pedal the question. Okay? No jiva, since mind and world are of mithya, and both of them are not born also. Even not only the mind is taken as a sample of the whole world. Mind and objects, those only are taken because it is at that level we experience everything in the world. Not even the sense organs, mind you. Sense organs plus the mind brings about experiences of the world. So hence mind is called the 6th sense organ. Not the, where we said in the 15th chapter. Manas, what is that verse? Manashashtani indriyani. Manashashtani indriyani. 6 indriyas. 5 plus 1. What is the one? Mind. So mind is also another indriya. So the indriya is not specifically mentioned. Through the indriyas, it goes to the place and sees the object. Matha, pata, etc., etc. Whatever you are seeing, you have gone out. You have means the consciousness through the mind writes to the, this is the theory of perception, that it goes to that where the object is, the place where it doesn't go physically, but mind has got the capacity of pervasiveness. So it goes there. And what are the indriyas? Indriyas are only windows. Or doors, let us say. Doors through which we go. Matra sparshastu kaunteya shidoshna sukadukha. And we go and meet there. When the mind comes to realize that object, then it will lead to either sukha or depending upon the object. If it is something I like, it is very happy, it makes you very happy. If it is something I don't like, then I am miserable. Is it not? So, Even then, even the mind cannot be held responsible. It is your likes and dislikes which is the culprit. Raga dveshas create all the problems. Mind takes that raga dvesha and sees the object. He puts on the glasses of raga dveshas, look at the world and hate half the world, and the other half are your friends. In everything, I like this bitter gourd. I don't like. So, what have you done? I don't like bendakai. Okay. So, you have made the vegetable kingdom also into two. What I like, what I don't like. Food also we have made into. Everything we have made two because I have likes and dislikes. Swapnamayo jiva jayade mriyade viva tada jiva ami sarve bhavandi na bhavandi bhavandi cha na bhavandi cha. How it is that jiva in swapna seem to be born and seem to be dying. In the same way, these jivas, it is said jivas, because we are talking from there. Always remember, here you see many jivas. In the sense, you see many bodies and many types of behavior and come to the conclusion there are as many jivas as the bodies. But the very question is begged when you say nothing is born, it alone is there. So all jivas are nothing but, if at all you are seeing jivas, they are also nothing but one Paramatma. In that way only Eka Jiva Vadam is established. But relative reality they have. That is why I say, Ye Jivaha, these jivas. Relative reality for the jivas are there. And he says, Nabhavandija, they are neither born nor are they dying, but they all appear to be that. Yadha maya mayo jiva maya, by the jivas that are created by the Mayavi, the magician. Jivo jayade mriyade bija. It is born and you see it immediately flowering and fruit coming in that mango tree which is never born. Because the very bija is Maya. In the magician's bag it is. It is not real. And it is born, it appears to be born. Maya mayo jiva jayade mriyade bicha tatha jiva mi sarve bhavandi na bhavandi cha. They are neither born nor they are dead. Because they are not there. As real as the magicians, the appearances in the magician's gallery, whatever you see there is all Maya only. Maya. Yatha nirmidago jivo jayade mriyade bija. Nirmidaka means the created jivas. By what? Mantra, aushadha, etc. I don't know what it is. By mantra and all, something appears. Some ghost appears. Or in our Puranas we see, by the mantra. What is it? Dasharatha did the Putra Kameshti and one, this thing came up. And brought the payasam. That is it real or unreal? It is not real. If you have created something by mantras or by yajna yagas or whatever it is, kritya, many stories are there in the Puranas, how Durvasa created that kritya, that Rakshasa-like thing with his jada. He put his jada in the Agni Kunt, and Kritya came out, very ferocious looking creature. And what it did, it chased Ambarish. It chased Durvasa himself. It chased first Ambarisha, but Ambarisha is a bhakta, he could not touch it. And then all problems came, you know that Ambarisha Charita. And this, what is born by mantra, Shakti, or what is born by mantra, Aushadha, etc. What appears to be, you know it is not real because it is born out of some mantra. How does it happen? But that we don't know. They are people who had power over the Sukshma Tanmatras and they can do some wonders like that. But whatever it is, that which is appearing to be born should be always in 3 periods of time there, which will not be. So it is not real. Mantra Aushadhas. Jiva Jayade Mriyade Bija. How they are born and that same way, Ami Jiva, all these Jivas are either born and not born. And not born, not dead. What is not born cannot be dying. What is born only can die. And what is not born, we cannot say by any stretch of imagination that they are dying also. What is not born, how can you say they died? Jadasya hi dhruvo mrityu. Only that which is born has got mrityu, not that which is created by Maya. So Indrajit comes in the Akasha by his Maya Shakti. That Indrajit is not real. It's only an appearance. By the power of their sadhana, they get siddhis, and the siddhi need not be real. It has got a beginning and a end. So we cannot accept it, and we cannot accept the birth of the jiva, and it's any jiva. There is no jiva in that. Is what he is trying to say, whether I don't agree with all these things. Some people are looking like that. We need not go into it at all. You are free to hold your own views. You understand? But if you have faith in the Shastra, if you have faith in the great masters who had given us this knowledge, then you won't say that. But if you think your superior intellect has come to some other conclusion, welcome. What will happen? Whatever you gain will be in this world, not that. That is why Shraddhavan labhate jnanam, nobody else. Many a great thinker in the past and now also think their intellect is the supreme court for everything. Such people, we are sorry to say, they will never, that humility which is the hallmark of all knowledge. If it is not there, you will never have even a glimpse of that Paramatma Vastu, which is the experience of great masters. I am not telling anything from my own intellect also. I have no intellect when I come and sit here. Something else goes on talking through me. That's all I know. Now he says, the jivas born in the dream or created by a magician or produced by mantras and crystals, etc. Crystal gazing. Have you seen that? You go to some fellow who knows how to gaze at a crystal, and in the crystal you can see your enemies walking. And he says, these are the people who have done one mantra, mata, whatever, for you, and you are suffering because of that. And you really believe, and he says, for seeing this crystal gazing, fees is 500 rupees. You understand? That is it real, but can you call it real? But there are fools who will say it is real. And they will give the 500 rupees and they will go after that person whom you saw in the crystal. But how do we see that there must be something there? Yes, something is there. But above all, what is there is your ignorant, what you call avridam, ajnana avridam mind is there at that time. And some people go to find out what I was in my previous births. Why should you know? I can't understand it at all. Even today I can't understand. So many people go, particularly these ladies will go. And he will say some rubbish. Not only rubbish, it will make a mark on your mind and will make you frightened also. What he says about till now is, maybe correct. But what he is going to come is not correct at any time. So, all are mithya. Vedanta never believes in all. Okay? But you were born like this and you had a very trouble. And always this is something very atrocious also. That you were like this in that previous birth. So now you have to do great pujas. Okay? And everybody will believe. And they will spend lots of money for all these things. And he says, produced by mantras and crystals, or hereby all of them appear to have born and they die. In the same way, in the waking state, men and other beings are appearing as born and dead. They are all mithya, and the result of what? Chitta? Spandanam. Whatever is seen is chitta spandanam. What, anybody dies, you think it is chitta spandanam? Yes, nobody dies. Gurudev said, every body dies, but nobody dies. Seeing that the body is meant to die, but there is something imperishable in that body which is never dying, and that is the Atman, and that is me. I am not this body. That is why while you are alive only you have to determine that I am not the body, mind or intellect, I am the imperishable Atman. Then you never die. You are immortal. That is how we become immortal. Not in any other way. Give me Amrtatvam, O Lord. How can Bhagavan give you Amrtatvam? You have to own it. And continuing, he says in the next verse, so everything, the Ajadi Vadam is established here. Mithyatvam of the Jagat Prapancham itself was again and again brought out. Nakaschit jayade jivaha sambhavosya na vidyade edat taduttamam satyam yatra kinchinna jayade. This is totally lifted from Advaita Prakarana, last verse, 48th verse. Edat uttamam satyam. What? Nothing is born. So read the commentary for that 48th verse of Advaita Prakaranam. No jiva is born, or you cannot even say sambhavyam, it is not. It is sambhavo asya. It's not possible that it is. Sambhavam means it is born by itself, it is born by some other method. Neither is possible. No, it just happened to be there, appeared. All types of words we use. Because even the Dvaitins, they have understood this birth is not there. Ajadi Vadam, they also know. So what do they say? Bhagavan Krishna appeared. Not that he is born. Even Jesus appeared. They don't say appeared, but by the virgin birth and all, you have to understand. It just appeared and disappeared. They don't say maranam, disappeared. That is why here he says, not only it is not born, it is not even sambhavam. It didn't happen also. Both are two different words. One is swataha, by itself it is born. The other is by some means it appeared on the seed. Not by ordinary known methods of birth. No. So that is called sambhava. Na sambhava, na utpatti, na vidyade. Edat taduttamam satyam. That is the ultimate truth. Uttamam satyam. What is the uttamam satyam? Yatra kinchin na jayate. So if you have understood this, you have understood everything. Everything is one Maya Jalam world in which we are living. And everything I see, I experience, I know, everything in this world is only not there. It is my chitta spandanam. Okay. Now what to do? We have no choice. Gautavada says so. But I am seeing, Amma, even then, for argument's sake, let us say. That is why I never stand up. I go straight to my room, usually. Same question they are asking. And same question is answered so many times, with so many examples, at so many levels. So what I always say is, all your questions will be answered if you read it again and again. Without even reading and with even half listening. No listening, I can say. Hearing, you are all hearing the talk. Understood? But you are not listening. Listening is different from hearing. Listening means what I have heard, then and there I understand the implication of those words. That is called listening. That is why we say sanyasya shravanam kuryad. Give up all your preoccupations in the world outside, all your preconceived notions, and listen. Otherwise, what will happen? Bhavandina bhavandija, shrunnundina shrunnundija, pashyandina pashyandija. What to do? Okay? It requires a pure mind, even for Shravana to be useful to you. You have to have that empty mind and a mind without any notions, because a new way of looking at things is being explained. Now don't connect it with all the baggage that you are carrying from so many years and then try to connect them. Don't do that. Just be available for teaching, then only teaching can take place. Otherwise, it will not take place. And some people tell me, by their talk only I know, otherwise how will I know? Some people say, I tell you, concentration of the mind you have to cultivate everywhere. And when you are listening to the tape, distractions are much more. That time only bell will ring and your friend has come. And this MP3 player and the DVD and all, you can't stop also. And even if you stop, you have to take so much trouble to go back. So don't depend on all that. Learn to start concentrating on what you are doing. It will solve many problems, even health problems, everything it will solve by not allowing the mind to wander. And the knowledge becomes perfect. Here he says, Sambhavosena vidyade edat taduttamam satyam. Therefore, that is the satyam. That is the truth I am telling you. With emphasis, Gaudapada is saying, nothing is born because nothing can be born when you say that Ekam Advidiyam Brahma. Then the Dvidiya Vastu, where can it come from? Is there a second? How can you posit a jiva or a mind or that or this or objects? Everything is mithya. Then why do I see it? That I don't know. Ask yourself why you are seeing. By my ignorance, I see. If I am ignorant, I will see many things. And I am total ignorance so far as Atman is concerned, and hence I don't see the Atman, but I see only the movement, the chalanatmakam jagat, and in that I see the chalanam and thinks that movement is the reality. Movement is not reality. Movement is a vikalpam, sangalpa vikalpatmakam manaha. So that is a vikalpam. And you go by that movement of the mind. Now happy, now unhappy, now that, now this, now agitated. What is a pure mind? Amrita Bindu Upanishad very clearly says pure mind is an unagitated mind, Shantam Shivam. That is the pure mind. And what is the impure mind? Mind which is in agitation. By what we never asked? Hatred can agitate your mind, is it not? Love also can agitate. Why? Because the successful denouement of that love may be far off, or the parents will object, or his parents will object. So all the time, so even good feeling, good thoughts will also create agitation. So I want to help somebody and I am doing social work. How much agitation it can give you, you know? Because the people around me, the team will not cooperate. Now why am I agitated here in such a beautiful, serene place? Because I am a disciplinarian by nature and I have been by training as a teacher. And you see some indiscipline somewhere here, you get agitated. How quickly you can get agitated. And agitated mind is an impure mind. Why it is called impure? Because it cannot allow you to know that. It will not allow. It comes in between you and the truth. This you must remember always. Impure mind does not mean, I think only good thoughts. I am a good man. Samini, why all this study? Why can't we be good? That is enough. No. Good mind also can become agitated mind. Agitated mind there should not be. Nirvyaja Shandatmana. Not a pretended one also. But really I am at peace with myself, I am at peace with the world. Nothing in the world can disturb my peace. Then only you are fit to know the truth. Because that which is all silence, all serenity, all tranquility, you can never apprehend it with a disturbed mind. You will see that also as something born and dead and all that. As you are seeing the world. Understand this very clearly. Chittas etra kinchinnad jayade is the satyam. That 48th shloka of Advaita Prakarana, you go through again. It is being again taken here because it's a very important verse. Chittas pandidame vedam grahya grahagavadvayam Chittam nirvishayam nityam asangam tena kirtidam. So this whole thing is only chitta spandanam. Here, whether there is a reality in chittam, we may question. Chittam is only saying that how you say pot space, the space inside that pot is called pot space. There is no thing born as pot space. Just because the pot is born, pot space is not born. Space is always there. Similarly, when you say chittam, chittam is not born. Chittam is only a name we have given. Or jiva. Jiva is a name we have. This jiva bhava is like pot space. We had no jiva. Then what is jiva that we are referring to? He is the Paramatma only. Abhinnaha. In one verse it is said. It is different, not non-different from the Atman. Atman alone is there. So, when it is conditioned by the mind and intellect, whatever these subhadis, conditioning is there, then you say that Atman is born as the body, mind, intellect, etc., etc. Nothing is born. Atman seeing in this cage, law of BMI, PFT. PFT means Mr. Ego. And OET, the world of objects, emotions and thoughts, the world in which I live now, is all, you are seeing all of them are born because of this pandanam of the mind. When we say it is the mental vrittis that are giving rise to this wrong notion, vritti jnanam, we say. Tripudi jnanam, all that objective knowledge which gives rise to misinterpret that which is always pure and there is no sangam in it, there is no death or birth in it. That you see as the ever disturbed mind. Now he says here in this very beautiful verse, chitta spandidam evedam, that grahya graha bhavam comes. The object and subject division, dvaidam, is that subject is different, object is different. Dvaidam means not only in the field of religion, everywhere. What? I am the subject and the object. Objects are also me only, my manakalpidam. Subject also manakalpidam. Kalpidam. So, both are grahya grahaga bhavam. This is, he is explaining Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva. Jivo Brahmaiva. What is the difficulty in understanding what Gaudapada says? Gaudapada says Jiva is Abhinnaha. Same. Shruti Vakyam he is explaining. That when there are no disturbance in the mind, when it is quiet and serene, what happens? Then you realize that Nitya, Asanga, Paramatma. When it is in motion, then you cannot see it. If you have any doubt, in front of your glasses you make some disturbance, then can you see what is there in front of you? No. You can only see and you get disturbed. You cannot see properly. When there is, and even if it is blurred, you cannot see properly. Is it not? Even if there is a convex or a concave lens in your spectacles, you can't see anything as it is. If you have doubt, you take one spectacles and put some two concave lens and look. It will be so bad that you will immediately throw and break it. Because all people look like pumpkins face. Or concave lens or convex lens. One looks vertical, the other looks horizontal. You understand? Even a lens can make that type of difference. And your mind is like a lens. That is why you see all upside down things. Grahya, grahaga is the mind spandanam, advayam, chittam, nirvishayam. Really speaking, chittam is nirvishayam because chittam is not different from chit. You understand? Chittam is chit alone. And what is chit? Nirvishayam. In that there is no vishayas. Nirvishayam, asangam. And it is nityam. And ever there, not something which comes and goes as in this world. And asangam, it is not attached to anything. Asparsha yogam is being taken up now. It's not no contact with what it is. Never born, never is the karanam for the world. It is in its own pristine purity and nisangatvam and nirvishayatvam and nityatvam. That is the quality of Atman is nisangaha, not there is no other. So far as Atman is concerned. Only when you become a Ramana Maharshi or someone, you can say, where is the other? You are always talking other. Where is the other? Show me. For that you have to become a Mahatma. But now we can only understand by the intellect that there is no other. And if you are seeing a mind, that mind is nothing but Atman. And Atman is Nityaha, Nisangaha, Nirvishayaha. And the mind, pure mind is also Nitya, Nisangaha, Nirvishayaha. In other words, mind is nothing but Atma. The mind that you are, Kalpana, your Kalpana of the mind also is nothing but Atma. Atma itself posited on the mind. Hence we say, from the Atma Chaitanyam in you, the Brahman in you, Hridaya Kuhara Madhye Brahma. And from that Brahman alone, the I rises. And when it is only I, it is, let us say, it is the Jiva. Now that Jiva is not born, in that Brahman alone it is appearing. And if at all it is gone, it will be in the Brahman alone. So Jiva Brahma Aikya, and the Jiva is nothing but Brahma is pointed out there in such verses. From this heart, from this Hridaya Kuharam, from the cave of the heart, there is the Brahman. So where have we to meditate? Can be in the heart, can be in the Ajna Chakra, can be anywhere. But heart is, I don't know, I prefer to think about that in the heart, that Atman is in my heart. And the I thought or I is rising in my I. But the moment you give it an individuality, it has become a Jiva. It has become a personality. That only creates all trouble. Nothing else creates trouble. So that Jiva, that mind is not non-different from Atman. Hence he says it is Nityam, Nirvishayam, Nisangam. Okay, we will see later. Om Purnamata Purnamitam Purnat Purnamadachyade Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.